brother. Boombox. Zilla, what's good, man?
What's up, my brother? How you?
I'm good, man. I can't complain.
That's what's up. So listen, first and foremost, I apologize for the mix-up. That was definitely my bad. We talked behind the scenes, man. So I definitely sincerely apologize about that. And I'm happy to be here.
Brother, it's no stress whatsoever, man. Things happen. And I'm just glad that you're here now. We can speak and chat it up.
So how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Still getting my bearings in a new state, but everything's good, man. How about yourself?
I'm good. Blessed, man. Very busy. The studio's super busy, but things are coming together, man. Despite of.
Exactly, right?
Right.
That's what's up, man. So yeah, let's get this episode started, man. Everybody, welcome to episode 10. We double digits, guys. We hit double digits. So episode 10 of Soul Chat.
Nice.
Very blessed to have my man from the 845 in the building.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, let's get right into it, man. Where did the love for music in general come from?
Great question, my good brother. Wow. I gotta take it back to days of as a kid listening to all of the records that my pops and my mom would play. Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, the OJs, like old groups. And then I started hearing like Michael Jackson. I heard Prince.
Right.
And I always was just intrigued by just the musicality of everything. Like, how did they put that together? Like, it just sounds amazing. Never even understood what that was all about as far as instruments or anything, but I just love to hear it. And secondly, I love to see what it did to my family, how it made them feel.
Right.
So they would dance in the crib, and they would be cooking. So all those experiences, not just the music itself, but just the experience of just it being very happy when the music was on. That's something that really inspired me. And it's so crazy because I never really knew that's what it really was growing up. But now I know.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I feel like that's always like in everybody's like kind of origin story. It's like just the feeling they have and like the vibes that were around them when music was on. It was always like a feel good vibe, and you're just trying to catch that in everything after that,
That's right.
So that's where the love came from. So now because every producer has that moment. They get into hip hop, they get into R&B, they love the songs, but then there's a moment where it's like, yeah, what they're saying is cool, but the music behind them is a way more interesting. So when did that kind of click for you?
You know what? It's interesting because, at first a lot of people may notice, a lot of people may not, but I started off as a rapper. I was rapping, thought I was nice. First person I heard was LL Cool J. I wanted to be just like LL. You know what I mean? Just his whole style, his whole, the way he dressed, the way he, got the ladies, the way just his whole charisma. I wanted to be LL. So I would start rapping, writing down my raps and trying to figure out like what angle I really wanted to go. How do I define who I wanted to be, right? So then what started happening was I knew that I needed beats, right? So, I would try and create beats of my own, but that didn't work out because I was whack. For a long time, I was whack, so I'm trying it. And it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I got to find some people that could kind of help me develop this sound that I think I want. And there was a few people around, whatever, but I couldn't really find anybody to really do it. So knowing me, knowing how I am from a young age, being a go-getter and do it yourself, I figured out, you know what, let me buy some equipment. I'll never forget, I bought a Casio keyboard. I don't know exactly what brand it was, but everybody had the Casio keyboard at that time.
Right.
And then I had a machine that sampled like something like 6 seconds. Right. So then I would start utilizing that, trying to find samples, figuring out what do I need to do to get the sample right and the sample rate right and everything. And then I slowly started making beats. So it really just came from me just wanting to do music so bad, and knew that I had to ultimately be a producer to make these records. Because if I didn't have anybody to help me, I had to do it myself. So that transition, again, without knowing what I was doing, it made me become a producer, because everything that we do as producers, we put the entire record together. It's not just making the beat. We find the artist, we find the songwriter, we find the musician, we find the engineer, we find the mastering engineer. That's a producer. So back then, I didn't realize it, but that's what I really wanted to be. I wanted to be everything. I wanted to make sure that I utilize all the tools that I can get to make sure that the record was done at the end of the day. Right. And at that time, it was really just me as the artist. So I was, trying to do everything. So to answer your question even further, I think what it really was is just the passion of being able to make music. And I think that one point was, again, listening to certain songs, understanding their story a little bit of how they made the music. And again, as a kid, I wanted to be like them. So right. I started making beats. I really started making records at that time.
I mean, that's what's up, man. I mean, like you said, a producer is a one-stop shop.
Absolutely. You gotta pretty much know how to do it all in a way. You know what I mean? Right.
So so like you said, you were aspiring rapper, but when did it kind of transition to, all right, you know what, I'm gonna slow down on the rapping, because the producing that the beats that I'm making is taking me somewhere else.
Because of the passion, I just loved it so much. I got more intrigued. It's so crazy how things have shifted, but I got so intrigued of understanding how to make the music so much that I didn't want to necessarily pick up the mic anymore. I wanted to continue making the music and figure out ways of making the sound right, because production takes a little longer. It's more of a process. It's more of a process of making the music and EQing things right and finding the right sounds and playing. So it took me longer to do that. So now it was kind of like I didn't really have time to do the whole rapping thing. I got more interested in just how to create the actual sound, the undertone of the record, the foundation, or the, whatever you want to call it. So I was just so intrigued. So I just stopped rapping. Right. Like I kind of just went cold turkey. I was like, I forget this rapping stuff. I'm gonna make some beats. And then on top of that, I was surrounded around MCs that was way better than me. So I was like, well, I don't want to keep rapping. If I got people that are better than me, I'm a producer. So now I can make the record with them and put some records out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was early.
That's what's up, man. And before we continue, just shout out to everybody that's in the chat listening.
Definitely.
Check it out. We got Soundtrack in here. Saw Sutter Holmes in here. Dice S, who's staying up because he's overseas.
Oh, that's
Appreciate
it. Tara Van, what up? So,
got that guy representing Canada, it looks like. So we got international flavors in here. That's what's up. So now you're starting to be on the production tip. Where did you find your first success, as far as every producer's chasing that first placement, that first acknowledgement of your talent? Where did you find that at?
Well, what eventually happened was I was trying to figure out how to build a studio. I was trying to figure out where was I going to create this music now, because I knew that I couldn't stay in my crib forever, right? So I was kind of looking around, seeing what's up, and then I ran into some people out in Brooklyn, as a matter of fact, and a lot of people don't know this, but one of the first studios I had was literally up the block from where Biggie used to live. So my studio was on the corner of Atlantic Avenue. I believe that's Atlantic Avenue in St. James, like a couple of blocks down from Biggie's old crib. So we built a studio right on that corner, and I'll never forget, it was upstairs, and we just found a way of being able to just make music and get with as many MCs and as many people as possible to create the music. You know what I mean? So
that's what's up, man. And on the next note, where did the relationship with J Hatch come in? Because I credit you for being the person, and you might not even remember this, but you're the reason that I started getting into iStandard. I reached out to you on Facebook Messenger. You say, "Yo, man, I'll put you on the list. Come check it out if you like it." Like,
nice.
And I came with my little brother. We checked it out, and I signed up for the very next one back when it was in Webster Hall.
That's dope, man. But I'll be honest with you, I definitely can't take credit for that. What you got to do is you got to say that I reached out to someone that I knew was involved in it, and you went, because you could have not gone, bro. You could have not even reached out at all. So the credit really goes to you of just understanding, like, this is what I needed to do. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people, man. Like, I was talking to somebody recently about this, man. We get so caught up into thinking that things are supposed to just come to us, and things are supposed to just fall in our laps. And, soon as it does, I'm ready. Soon as it does, nah, brother, I create my opportunities. I don't wait for them at all. Like, anything that I want, I go and get it. So it's sometimes we get it a little bit confused and get it twisted, where we feel like, all these situations is just supposed to happen because we do what we do, but not at all. You can be the best basketball player. You could be the best cook. You could be the best beat maker in the world. But if you don't put the work in, it's never going to happen. If you don't ask questions, if you don't ask people for favors, if you don't ask people for help, like, it's never going to happen. So I guess I felt that energy when you hit me, right? And you wanted to be involved because somebody did that for me. You know what I mean? Like, in many situations, because I put the work in to say, hey, you know what? I heard that you was doing such and such. Can I get involved? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but as far as Hatch is concerned, it's crazy because I've known Hatch forever. You know what I mean? Like, I've known him for such a long time. And, we met up, obviously, through music, but our relationship built because he understood how he wanted to transition from working into music, and so did I. So we quit our jobs at the same time, like literally the same time. And he wrote a lot of this in his book, but at that time he had he was working for Aeropostale, like higher up in the bracket as far as management and everything. And he decided that he wanted to quit his job and really pursue this music thing, but on so many different levels, because he did so many different things. So he saved up some bread. I was broke at the time. I ain't gonna lie. I was broke, and I still quit my job. But he saved up some bread. Bro, we went to Phoenix. We went to Cali. We went to Atlanta. We went all over the place. To be honest, on his dime. Because he believed in me, and I believed in him. So we just wanted to learn. We just wanted to figure out what this thing was all about. So we were friends before then, but to answer your question clearly, like, our relationship built on the music because we wanted it all. We wanted to make sure that we understood everything, just educating ourselves on every little move, so that as we go through this journey, we understood slightly what we was doing.
Right.
And I'll never forget it. We went to this conference where Leote Blacknor, she was the general manager of Rough Riders. It was her conference. And there was probably maybe about 70 people in the room, right? when it was time for questions, me and Jay was the only ones with our hands up, like the entire time. And we asked multiple questions because we just wanted to know. We wanted to learn. Like, what is a point? What is a royalty payment? What is ASCAP? What is, publishing? What is, a copyright? Like, how do you promote an artist? You know what I mean? And all of these things, it was a 2-day event. All of these things was discussed to give us a better understanding of what we're doing. And that event, I believe Atlanta, I think it was in Atlanta.
That's what's up, man. And I mean, that stands out too, because if you guys are the only ones asking a question, they see that. People notice that. And that's also on you guys because, you have the wherewithal to be like, hey, I need this information. This person can give it to me. I'm not going to shy away because it's, Rough Rider, upper echelon of Rough Rider. No, I'm going to ask it because I want to know and I want to be where they're at. So I'm not afraid to say what I got to say and ask what I need to ask in order to get the information I want. And that's a testament to you guys.
Yes.
So what would you say is your proudest moment as a producer?
Wow. That's a tough one. I can't necessarily give like one particular one, as like the top of the list, but definitely had a few. I think I'll name two that was very important to me. Very important. And the reason why, well, I'll tell you first, I'll tell you why. I won an Underground Music Award in New York City for best producer coming up. Something like that. I forgot exactly how they phrased it, but I still have the award in my house. But I won that award right after, like literally after I did the remix for Mariah Carey and LL Cool J. So after that happened, the awards came up. I was nominated and went to the award show, won the award. Jay Hatch was on stage with me and everything. And the reason why I say it was my most proudest moment and a moment that definitely stood out is because I really, even though I did the remix and I was doing a lot of different things, I still was kind of like at a crossroad. I really didn't know like what I was doing and where I was going. And I had a few relationships. I had a few people I knew, but it was kind of like an uncertainty of where I was going to go and where I was going to be. So I really didn't think I was going to win it because there was so many people like in that category. And one of my good brothers, Playboy Shy, he was in the category and he was doing a lot of work. So they announced my name and I forget what we were sitting in VIP. Everybody that was nominated was in VIP. I had maybe like 8 people with me just supporting me. And I won. And one of my guys was like, what you still sitting there for? Get on stage. I'm like, oh, okay. So I ran up there, won the award. So that definitely was incredible. And then the next thing, man, was when I started teaching kids.
Nice.
I did a program in Monticello, New York, upstate New York, a little bit west of me. And I got called from a friend of mine to do a music program where I would be teaching a few like 15, 16, 17-year-old boys about music, just about, the Pro Tools and all of that. And it's so funny because I ran into one of my students was Young Papa from the Hoodies.
Wow.
Because he's from Ellenville.
Right.
Upstate. So I think those two was great. Again, teaching the kids, I loved it because it was a challenge for me. Never did it before. Didn't really understand like what I was doing, but I knew that I wanted to do it. And I knew that if I just put together like a small curriculum of how I wanted to really run the program, that they would love it. And they did. They ended up really loving it a lot. And they put me to work. And then the pandemic hit. Right.
That's what's up, man. That's a testament to you as well, because like for you to be able to grow up, learn this business, learn it, like sharpen your sword, as they say, you know, your talent and everything that you've been doing. And then to have somebody come to you and be like, yo, can you teach the next generation? That's very humbling to like, that's crazy to me. Cause I could only imagine how I would feel if someone was to hit me up and be like, yo, can you teach these kids music and production and what goes on? So that's what's up, man. And
yeah, and you know what, man? Like, it's interesting because what I noticed, like after I did the program and even kind of during the program, I noticed that we don't necessarily need people to hit us up. They're waiting for us, bro.
Mm.
They literally are waiting for us. If we put together a plan, and I'm really speaking to all my producers, man. If we really put a plan together, I mean, obviously with things going on, you know, things are going to change soon. But if you put a plan together on and being creative with it on how you want to put together a program, and as long as it's legit, as long as it's something that's organized, they'll pay attention to it. They will pay attention to it because you won't believe that these people have a budget. These people have a really nice budget to put together for music programs because it's missing in our educational systems. And the kids want that. So you got to give the kids what they want. These people spent $40,000 on their recording studio that to this day they don't even use.
Wow.
And they hit me up. They was like, yo, we want to kind of put this together. We want to itemize some things. And I was like, all right, you know, I was lowballing them at first because I didn't know anything about a budget. I'm just trying to put a studio together at a decent cost. So I'm giving them all this equipment. They're like, yeah, is this the top? They're assuming, oh, this is the top of the line stuff, right? I was like, no. It's like, oh, no. We need the top of the line equipment for our recording studio. I'm like, so I had to redo it all over again. Yeah. They got more equipment than me.
That's crazy.
Word.
That's crazy.
Stan the Man, what up?
Word, shout out to Stan the Man. Shout out to DJ OG in the room.
OG, what up?
So you've been able to work with a lot of people. Who in your opinion is the favorite collab that you've been able to do?
I love the new records I got on the new Tech album, Smith and Wesson. I love Tech is my brother, man. I've known Tech for probably I'll say maybe 10 years now. And he's somebody that I just love collaborating with. I always record with him. You know, it's never a situation where he's sending, you know, vocals. He's always recording with me. So being able to be in the studio with him and collaborating with him is just incredible. I would say the majority of the time it's MCs that I closely work with. You know, I got a lot of records out and a lot of records where there's features and, you know, they might have sent vocals, you know, like Sheik. I've never been in the studio with Sheik, but I know Sheik and I know that, you know, his whole team, they've sent me vocals and we was able to put the record together. And I met Sheik a couple times too. But I think working directly, Source Money, like I love working with artists in the studio, not, you know, send me the joint. You know what I mean? I really hate that process. I know that that's the wave now, you know, but I would say Sauce, I would say Tech. Even though we didn't physically work together, one of my favorite records is the joint that I did with Mano. Love that record. And I would say Chrisette Michelle. I was actually in the studio with Chrisette when we put that record together.
Nice.
And that was a real interesting experience because I didn't have to say anything. She just knew what to do. So I just kept my mouth shut. I was like, yeah, that's good. I like that.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So not only were you instrumental in the beginning of iStandard, but you were also instrumental in another showcase where producers were able to show their stuff with beats per minute.
Right.
From DITC, which again, shout out to you because I don't know how many times I hit y'all up, yo, can I get in? Can I get in on this one? Can I get in on this one? Like I know I was annoying. But
no, you wasn't.
around. I just wanted to be around everybody, man. Like,
right. Persistent. You was persistent.
Right. So how was the process? Like, how did that even come together? Like, what was the idea behind that?
So shout out to the whole team, man. Shout out to Finesse. Shout out to Buck Wild, Joe, Showbiz, AG, OC, Diamond. DITC is literally my first music family. Tay Bell, what up? They are the ones who gave me my first real opportunity in this music industry. Like, paid me, got me on albums, got me working with them directly. Shout out to Show. Show is my ultimate music mentor. He's the one that really believed in me from day one and understood that I had value to bring to the table. And I'm kind of halfway a DITC member. So you know, those are my brothers right there. And he just reached out. He was just like, yo, you know, I know you're doing your thing, but I'm really trying to start this event. You know, how do you feel about working with me on it? And I'm like, you don't gotta say nothing else. I will put the entire program together. I'll put the whole event together. You just tell me what you want, and I'll make it happen. Because I told him, shout out to producers like yourself, because I probably know about 300 producers personally, where I can hit them up, DM them, inbox them, and like, yo, I'm trying to do some things right now, blah, blah, blah. So shout out to Stan the Man. Stan the Man came a few times. Like, I think it really just ultimately was a success because just a like minds coming together, man. And I couldn't have done it without you guys, man. You guys were the ones who was bringing the heat, and you was bringing that energy. Y'all would always come through with respect, because that's one thing that I told Show. I'm like, this is your recording studio, so you sure you feel comfortable with that? He's like, nah, bring them through. Let's link up. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's where we really cultivated Motif alumni. You know, he was one of the first ones that I found him in Middletown, brought him to the studio. Show took a liking to him, so he was on a lot of projects, and a few other guys too, man. Super Ugly. So I think it was really just that energy, man. That energy was just amazing, and yo, we got to keep it all the way a buck. Them speakers, yo, hold up,
right?
Those nights, Tay Bell, what up? Those nights would have never happened without those speakers, man.
Right.
Because we're producers, right? We want to hear everything. We can't be going and rocking with KRKs and no. You got to hear that. We need to hear the shebang, the full shebang.
Yep.
We want to hear that. We want to hear that hi-hat crunch. You feel me?
Right.
So, shout out to the speakers at DITC Studios.
For real.
And I think in the main room, we brought Joe to the studio, and I think in the main room, I'm not gonna take credit for this, but everybody claiming that I did it. One of the speakers blew from us doing a listening session with Joe. Mm. And I guess I'm to blame for that. Right. It's all good though.
I mean, yo, those were some epic nights, man. Like, from the night Primo was there, the night Amadeus was there, Ski Beats. Like, that's probably what was the most exciting thing about it. There was always a guest, and not only the beats that were being played that night, but the jewels that the special guest was dropping at the time. Like, if you didn't, like, it was definitely a blessing to be in the room those nights, because they were putting you on game, like, every single time. Right. From what Amadeus told us, even the conversation between Ski and Lord Finesse when they were talking about the business, and Lord Finesse brought up Confessions of a Record Producer.
Right.
And I went and ordered it that night.
Right.
Like, that night. Because I'm like, yo, if he can get that information from there, who am I to not try to get that information as well?
That's right.
So shout out to, and that other epic night when special guest for the last one of the year, and nobody knew who the special guest was, and everybody's chilling, and then we just see Large Professor walk in the room, and we're like, what the fuck?
So let me tell you about that. So that's so crazy you mentioned that. So show hits me up. He's like, because every week, because we was doing it every week at first.
Right.
Then we started doing it every other week because it was just too much for both of us. But he hits me up. He's like, yo, who you thinking about for the next joint? I had no clue because we had a lot of people coming in. I had no clue. He goes, what about like humbly, what about Large Professor? I was like, what? Yo, I couldn't believe he said that. I'm like, what? He said, yeah, Large Pro. I know. Yo, show's crazy because he knows everybody. Let's be clear on that. He knows everybody. He just put up a post of him and Rakim talking, right? He knows everybody. So I say, yo, let's do that. But I don't want to do a flyer for that. I want to make that, this is my idea. I want to make that a surprise for everybody. He was like, all right, bet. Because that's one thing about Show. He believed in me so much that he just allowed me to do whatever the hell I wanted. You know what I mean? With these events. So I said to him, like, yeah, let's make this a surprise. He was like, all right, bet. So I think I might have posted up a flyer with like a silhouette, but you didn't see the face. And I said, special guest, Christmas, whatever. I gotta find the flyer. And the look on y'all's faces. And I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was the second time that I met Large Pro, but he doesn't know me. To this day, I personally don't know Large Pro. I met him the second time then. But even me, bro, like, I was shocked. I was like, yo, I cannot believe that he's here right now. Because if you notice, I didn't really do an interview. I did a small little interview, but I was kind of like in the cut. I just let him talk and let him play beats. I think Ski was there, right? Ski?
Yeah, Ski was there.
Buck Wild, I believe, was there. And forgot who else. But they were really talking to him more than me.
Right.
So I'm not gonna lie, I was a little starstruck.
Word.
That was epic.
Definitely, yo. And I remember like thanks to that, like a couple times I was in the same room as Large, and he was like, oh, yo, that's the DITC kid. Yo, he's dope. He's dope.
Word?
Yeah.
Fire, bro. Fire.
So, I appreciate the look, man, because that, and to be honest with you, BPM was like the next wave of producers, because that's literally every night, every week was the same, like if from the same group, and everybody from that group now is doing their thing. So that was like the precursor to the next wave of production, which is crazy. It was like a graduating class.
Right. An alumni.
Right.
Absolutely, man. That's a fact. Like we were wow. We were like a unit. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Like we had so much momentum at that time, and we wanted it so bad, and we knew that as long as we come together and support each other, that somewhere, somehow, this thing was going to happen. And even with all of the opportunities that came up for the project, you know, I was always doing the best I could to reach out to as many people that came through as possible, just to kind of help, you know, kind of give them an opportunity a little bit, because we had a lot of projects. We could have put out a lot more, but there was a lot of politics behind certain things, you know, a lot of things behind the scenes. But unfortunately, that didn't really necessarily work out. But we had some great momentum at that time, and we had some eyes on us, bro. And a lot of people don't know, and I can tell it now because it is what it is. But I had somebody from Complex hit me up. Wow. Because we was trying to take BPM and get it to another level. We wanted like a sponsor. We wanted to really attach ourselves to a bigger brand in order to put the light out, because we would post all of these events on YouTube, but the traction wasn't what we really wanted. Now it's probably more numbers, but at that time, we wanted to really make this something that was just incredible. You know what I mean? And we was on our way, but, you know, obviously things happen for a reason. But I don't regret anything. I'm glad that we did it. And I just love the fact that we did, because I was able to establish relationships with producers like yourself, bro. Like, even with the whole thing with the, you know, with the placement and just everything that you was just doing, period. Like I always admired your passion, and I always admired the fact that you was dead serious, bro. Like you would come in on a humble, not say much, and just knock us all out. Like, damn. Show took a liking to you, bro. Word.
That's just, yo, I appreciate that, man, for real. I just like it's like I told OC, man. I was just trying to do something, man. You know, I love music, and I was just trying to make something out of it, and I was definitely serious. You know, I'm not trying to disrespect nobody, so I kind of don't say much. You know, I'm a quiet dude. I just let the music talk. You know.
That's right, and it's working. Word.
So now we get to probably the staple of the show. Well, not probably. It is the staple of the show. It's called Over Under.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, I don't know what that is, but okay.
I'm gonna give you a question.
Right.
And you're gonna tell me overrated or underrated.
Oh no! Come on, brother. Come on, don't do that. Wait. Okay, wait. I know what this is because I was in one of your episodes and y'all were talking. Okay, I got you. Gage, what up? Yo, hold up. Shout out to Majestic Gage. That's my brother. He's DITC too. He would always come through the spot. He's an incredible MC, man. Shout out to Gage.
Shout out, man.
Yeah.
So
I'm scared.
First question is, who, in your opinion, is the most overrated producer of all time and the most underrated producer of all time?
Bro, you can't do that, man.
Yo, everybody answered it. Even OC gave his opinion. OC said
he said what?
RZA.
Overrated?
Yep.
He's bugging. I'm gonna tell him personally. He's bugging. Good question. Wow. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings though.
Nah, it's not. It's just in your opinion. We've had Swiss.
Swiss? Like overrated?
Overrated. We've had Maestro said Dilla.
What?
But not for the reason you think. Maestro said Dilla because every producer now, whether they're making trap beats, whatever, they say their inspiration is Dilla. Like he's become such that like even if you don't make anything that sounds like Dilla, you're saying your inspiration is Dilla. That was his reason for saying that.
Okay. I still don't agree with him, but okay. But me and Maestro disagree all the time. That's my brother. I love him. So I'm gonna give you overrated first.
Okay.
Just to get it out the way. Oh man, this is not gonna be good, brother.
Nah, it's all good, man.
Because I got relationships. You feel me? Oh man. So we're saying overrated. Obviously, they got to be great, and they're just overrated.
Yeah, they're great in their own right, but like just in the whole scope of things, maybe they get more credit than they deserve, or you just don't see what the big deal is about them, or whatever it is to you.
Wow. Oh man. Ooh. All right. I'm gonna get back to that one. I'm gonna give you who I think is underrated.
Right. We've had plenty of names for this one.
Plenty of names.
Yeah.
DJ Battle Cat.
Right. Never had that name.
yeah, no, underrated.
Definitely.
Underrated. People gotta know. People gotta know what he does. You feel me? Look at Earth Beast, Metro Boomin. So, I think overrated. Probably the dude that was oh man, I forgot his name already. The dude that was doing all of the Rick Ross records at one point. He had a big sound.
That's
damn. He had a big sound. What? Help us out, y'all.
Talking about too, because I saw an interview with him, and he was like, "I don't know how to play anything. I just Do What Sounds Right. And I was like,
Lex Luger. Stan
that's
Manson
him?
said it. Yes, overrated.
Okay. Yeah,
He was popping at one point, bro.
No, he was, but I could definitely see that because, yeah, he was the one to interview. He was like, I don't know how to do most of this stuff. It just sounds good to me. I was like,
right. Right. Yeah. Overrated.
So we got Lex Luger, overrated. We got Battle Cat, underrated. Those are perfect choices.
Right.
So next question. Most overrated beat of all time and most underrated beat of all time. We've had, for overrated, we've had Death of Auto-Tune. We've had OC Said All About the Benjamins. We've had
I'm gonna say, I'm sorry, I apologize. I just keep forgetting names, but the record that the Clips did.
Grinding,
overrated.
What
was that? What was that?
It was a lunch.
I don't know what that was. Overrated. I would say I was gonna say Drop It Like It's Hot, but I'm gonna fall back because I like that beat. I'm gonna fall back, but definitely Grinding. There's nothing to that, and everybody, oh, that's the hottest beat in the world. Yeah, Grinding. Yeah, definitely that.
All right.
The most underrated beat of all time is Common Sense, Sun God.
Yeah, that's a dope beat, man.
Produced by High Tech.
Right. He's an underrated producer, period.
Period.
He don't get none of the credit he deserves, man.
None of the accolades, not at all. He's one of the most incredible. High Tech. Shout to High Tech.
Right.
But yeah, Common Sense, Sun God. That is my top 10. It's in my top 10 list of all time of hip hop records. Common Sense, Sun God. Y'all gotta listen to that.
For real, man. For real. Check that out. If you haven't checked it out, go on YouTube, go on Spotify, Tidal, whatever you on, and check that out. Definitely.
That's right.
So next question is,
oh Lord,
which collab did you hear about that you were so hyped for, and then it came out and you were like, that ain't it? And
collab?
Yeah, like producer rapper collab that you heard that you were like, yo, this is gonna be so tough, and then it comes out and you're like, wait, hold on. And then on the flip side, which is a collab that you think wasn't gonna work, and then you heard it and it was like, oh, that's crazy. So for example, like we've had Nas and Kanye, the album.
Got it. So we're talking about full projects or just a song?
And it could be a song, it could be a project, anything.
Great question. Producer, artist.
Yeah, Stan said it right there. Nas and Kanye.
Right.
I think everybody was hyped about it and then heard it and was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. It was all right. Damn. Man, that's such a tough question, man. Collab, like a collab. One, a producer. Does Eminem and Royce the 5'9" count?
Who did the beat?
Because technically M was producing those records.
He was.
Does that count?
Yeah, that counts. If he's producing it and it don't sound what it should sound to you, that counts.
Yeah, I wasn't into all that. Wasn't into it. It just was cool. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like, wow, that's incredible.
Right.
And the one that I felt like I wasn't sure about that really worked, that I really loved, was Prime.
Right.
Right? Am I wrong?
No, for real. Like, I think when people heard that Primo and Royce were getting together, it was like, wait, Primo's doing what with who? Because it just didn't sound. It was too different of a sound for each other, and it worked.
Right. Now, the thing about it is that I'll be honest with you. Primo was producing a lot of Royce the Five Nine's records back then. I mean, he might have only did like 2 or 3. So they had worked together, but time had passed. So I just wasn't sure if it would be something that would really be like epic. You know what I mean? Shout out to Earth Beats. Just see, you gotta ask the people too, man. They give us some great Timberland and LL. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
That's true.
But yeah, I would say that Prime album.
Me personally, like I think the record that I was like, I don't know, and then I heard it and I was like, oh, this is dope, is Royce and Royce. Because the Allegory is 100% produced by Royce.
Produced by right. I
was like, I don't know. I was like, Royce produced this since when?
Right.
And even when I was talking to Vicious, and Vicious was like, yeah, he's doing the whole album himself. I was like,
confused.
I was like, okay. And then it comes out, and I'm like, from the first single with T.I. and who was the other dude? Sci-Hi the Prince.
Sci-Hi the Prince, yes.
From that first single, I was like, oh, this sounds different. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Wow. Yes, right. I totally forgot about that too, man. Yeah, because he was kind of dibbling, dabbling with making beats for a little while, but then but it was at a time where he wasn't necessarily too sure about it, so he wouldn't rap over any of his own stuff, and then eventually he did. So yeah, the Allegory. Yep.
And it's Grammy nominated now, so
right.
So now we're gonna enter into another area. It's called Fantasy Round. So
I'm getting nervous now.
No, this is dope. So you're in the perfect studio session.
Yes.
You're in the perfect studio session. It's who is the rapper, who's singing on the hook, who's producing it, who's engineering it, and what label is it coming out on?
Ooh. Got you. So I'm gonna make this special because we gotta go left a little bit, right?
Right.
But something that we feel is gonna work, right?
Yeah, whatever you want, man. It could be anybody, dead or alive.
Got you. So we're gonna. So I'm the A&R right now. I gotta put together a record.
Right. And it could be as someone you idolize producing it. It could be you producing it. It could be whatever you want.
It ain't gonna be me producing it. We gotta. This is for the people, so we gotta make sure that we got something real solid and something special, right? So we're gonna start off with the artist, right? I know this is gonna be a little, we're gonna make this work, okay, my brother?
All right.
Can I pick 2 artists or just one?
Whatever you want.
We're gonna go Busta Rhymes and Snoop.
Okay.
That's the artist.
Starting off good already.
Absolutely. We're gonna go with DJ Khalil.
Okay.
We're gonna go with DJ Khalil. Khalil's gonna produce it. Snoop's on the record. Busta Rhymes on the record. And I'm gonna negotiate a deal. I'm gonna negotiate a deal. I think we're gonna go with Aftermath on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Aftermath. We're gonna go with Aftermath, even though Snoop was with them. Actually, no, we ain't gonna go with Aftermath. Nah, forget that. Forget that. We ain't gonna do that.
All right.
We're gonna rock with a New York label. We're gonna rock with this is crazy. We're gonna rock with we're gonna go with Rough Riders.
All right. Shout out D Dave in the room.
We're gonna go with Rough Riders. D Dave, what up?
We got go with Rough Riders. We got Busta and Snoop.
Busta and Snoop, DJ Khalil.
DJ Khalil coming out on Rough Rider.
That's right. Double R.
That's different. And who's there?
Huh? Oh, engineer?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, because you know that can make a break.
That's a fact. Oh man. That's tough though, because we could say Young Guru, but that's too obvious, right?
We've had Young Guru, we've had Parks.
I love Parks.
Parks is my guy, man.
We're gonna go with Parks then. Forget it. We're going with Parks. We're going with Parks.
And
Mimi, what up? Yeah, we're gonna go with Parks. We're gonna see what happens.
All right, bet.
Dana, what's good?
Busta and Snoop, produced by Khalil, engineered by Parks, comes out on Rough Rider.
That's right.
Sounds correct.
That's right.
Sounds like a summer banger.
That's right.
For real.
Word.
That's what's up, man. So shout out to you. You started Producer Synergy, which is like an event for producers to showcase their talent. What was the idea behind you starting that?
I think, after Beats Per Minute kind of like, dwindled down a little bit for a few reasons, it got to a point where I still wanted to make that happen. Even though it was upstate and even though it was, away from the city and people weren't going to necessarily get to, which I thought at the time, get to where I was at because it was upstate, I kind of just wanted to put together something locally and see if people would come out. And then eventually it turned into, let me just, once again, utilize all my connects, all my relationships with my guys, my producers in the producer community, reach out to them and see if they want to come up. You know what I mean? And slowly but surely, people started coming up and really rocking with me for it. And we had a good time, man. And the great thing about it is that, because I had the studio, I had the space for it. Now I didn't really have to worry about anything else. I don't have to worry about overhead or whatever. I still took care of, the catering and all that other stuff. But I just love the fact of being able to be in my own space and just have people come through. So producers, songwriters, because at first I was just doing producers, but then I was like, you know what? I want to bring in songwriters too, and artists, because it's producer synergy. So bring them together so they can meet each other and eventually collaborate and make a record. That was the whole goal of that. I wanted everybody to hear each other. You know what I mean? A few times we went live with it, but the main thing again, it's all about networking. That's the reason why I love what I do, man, because I like to meet people. I like to meet talent. I like to discover talent. I like to work with talent. I love being able to give people opportunities, as little as I can do. I ain't puffing nobody, but you know what I mean? But with the relationships that I have and just the resources that I have, I want to be able to just bring people together so that, eventually we can make something happen. And don't get it twisted, man. I got a lot of great things coming up. I was talking about it on my Facebook Live the other day. I got an outdoor event that I'm gonna be doing for the entire summer.
Oh wow!
So again, with the pandemic, we got to be safe. We got to figure out a way of being able to still express ourselves creatively in a safe manner. So I got a backyard with a gazebo with a whole sound system.
Oh wow!
right here in Poughkeepsie, New York. So I'm gonna be inviting you for that, bro.
Yeah, I gotta make my way up to New York for that one, man.
Definitely. So wait, where are you now?
I'm in VA.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. After I got married, and then
Right.
my wife opportunity down here, so we made the move.
Right. I remember that too, man. And second, congratulations to you.
And
That's
bro,
what's up, man.
she's in here listening. She gasped a little bit when you said clips grinding.
Right. It is what it is.
Hey, you know, everybody feels their way about whatever, you know.
That's right.
So, yo, well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. As we wrap up, if you want, tell people what you got coming up. I know you said you have the outdoor event coming up this summer. Anything else that you have in the future that we could look forward to?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I definitely want to speak about that event, though. It's called The Yard, and we're going to probably be starting it probably late March, early April, you know, the second that the weather starts breaking, you know, obviously because it's an outdoor event. And it's going to be a great experience, man. You're going to get some education. You're going to be able to hear, you know, some great talent. We're going to probably bring out some bands. Like, it's going to be something really special, man. And we're going to try and switch it up, you know, all the time as we go. But and it's definitely invite only, so you can't just knock on the door, hey, I'm here. You know what I mean? As you know, all of my events is invite only. And you know, and it's outdoors, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be definitely something to witness and be a part of. And then the other thing for me, man, you know, as everybody knows, I run a recording studio in Pleasant Valley, New York, which is like 7 minutes from Poughkeepsie, called Drumline Studios. And it's just a way of anybody that really wants a great sound to come through, record. If you're away and you need mixes, you know what I mean, holler at me, record on your own, send me the mixes. So I really, as far as things that's coming up, the main thing really is just continuing to just build the network, man, and work with as many people as I possibly can. You know what I mean? I love my producers. I love my artists and songwriters. I love collaborating with them and just love to be a part of their success, man. So, you know, shout out to everybody that's doing it too, man. That's really it. I'm a simple guy, my brother. Like, people be saying, yeah, I got, I'm about to work with Jay-Z when I go to Cali. And I ain't got none of that going on, brother. I just do me, figure it out. Whatever happens, happens.
Right.
That's it.
Nah, exactly what Stan the Man just said, man. Like, you definitely deserve your flowers, and I'm glad that I've been able to have you on this platform so that people can really understand like what you've done for the producer community on a whole, whether it was what you've done starting up with iStandard, DITC, the beats per minute, and even producer synergy. Like, you've always been a producer's producer, for the producer, by the producer. And, you know, it's much appreciated to us who the generation that came up under you, the generation that's there with you. You definitely deserve your flowers because you went above and beyond to make sure that we had the tools we needed to get ahead. So me personally, I appreciate you, man. I thank you for that because, like I said, if it wasn't for you, like I wouldn't have had my start on the showcases, and you
That's
know,
what's up.
Meeting my idols as producers is all because of the stuff that you started. So I'm appreciative,
man.
for real.
I mean, again, first of all, I appreciate that. I really do. And like I said in the beginning, I still stand by that. Like, I don't deserve the credit, bro. It really just comes down to how bad people want it and understanding the value of being able to come together. Shout out to Stan the Man too, man. Stan is somebody that definitely, without question, has been a full force in this music industry as well. I see what he's doing. You know, he was the one that would always come to me like, yo, I'm trying to get into the event. I'm like, brother, say no more. Like, you there. And he was there a few times. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of it, I got to give credit to a lot of the producers that really believed in me. Because y'all could have been like, who is this guy? I don't know who that is. You know what I mean? But believing in me and understanding that I can bring something to the table to help you know, I appreciate that. Shout out to Jay Clyde too. And Jay Clyde is an incredible producer, and
Definitely.
that's just what we do, man. You know what I'm saying? We keep this thing moving, and I wanna really congratulate you too, man, for all your success and everything you're doing. Soul Chat is amazing. Anything I can do to support it, just holler at me. I'll share posts, I'll share stories, everything. Anything that you need, just get at me, man. If you need to connect to somebody, you need to reach out to somebody, you know what I mean? As you know, got a lot of connections, you know what I mean? So I got you on that. You know that.
Thank you, man, for real. And shout out to Jay Clyde too. I had him on last week, and his interview was amazing. Like, just hearing how he got into music, his how DJing affected his, influence his producing, and you can definitely hear it. It's something about, I told him in the chat before, I was like, it's something about DJs. Like, DJs are different as producers. Yeah. It just, like, I don't care what DJ it is. If they DJ, they're dope. Like, point blank.
Incredible. Because they're in the clubs, and they know the sound. They know what the people want to hear. I always say they're the liaison between the artists and the people. Right. You know what I mean? If it's not for the DJs, if the DJs aren't playing the records and aren't inspiring the people, they wouldn't be able to do it. You know what I mean? Like, so the DJs is always going to be the best producers because they just know what the people want to hear, period.
Right. So. Bro, definitely got to have him back on another time so I could get deeper into his DJ run, because we were just talking about the production, and he's a accomplished DJ in his own right. So definitely got to have him back on for that. But thank you so much, Zilla, man, for taking the time out. I know that we've had a little bit of a time conflict, but we got it straightened out. And I'm really appreciative that you were still able to come through tonight and drop gems and talk about your journey, and and I'm glad that I was able to help give you the flowers that you deserve. Just like
listen, I appreciate that, my bro. I really do appreciate it.
For real. So this was episode 10 of Soul Chat. We've hit double digits. All praise to God for that. And many, many more episodes to come. I'm glad you guys could be here for this. I'm glad you guys could check out Drawzilla. Please, if you haven't already, go on his IG, follow him, follow Drumline Studios, follow Producer Synergy. And yeah, like, we'll definitely be back next week. We'll be back with another guest, and we're just gonna keep it rocking.
Dope. I'm gonna holler at you, my brother.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right.